Buddy, so I'm about to head up to Maryland near Baltimore to pick up the truck bed that I'm purchasing. And going through Maryland, they have interesting gun laws up there. It's very confusing. Just kind of like some of the laws in Virginia, I think these people don't know what the hell they're doing when they're making these laws. So let me give you some examples here. In Maryland, you can't carry or transport a firearm that's loaded. So you have to have the firearm in a container, and the container is like your glove box or your armrest or something like that, and it has to be unloaded. And In order to carry a firearm with you, an open carry or on your hip when you're in Maryland, you have to have a permit, which is ridiculous. Having a permit in order to carry your gun makes no sense to me. So that means people who don't live in the state, who are driving through the state, have to unload all their guns when they're driving through the state. Um, and I find that ridiculous. So I can't even protect myself. So I decided to look up the laws for black powder. Now I'm reading all the subsections of what they define of this and that and this and that. And basically, in order to carry a gun, you have to have a permit, but it doesn't mention black powder for the permit. So I looked up the definition for firearm, and it's just like every other state. It considers a firearm something that uses a centerfire, rimfire cartridge, blah blah blah. And then it says firearm, and then it says antique firearms are not considered a firearm. It's weird. The subsection is like subsection 3. I can't remember. I should have wrote it all down, but there's a subsection in there that says firearms are not, or antique firearms are not considered firearms. And then when you go further down, it just gives you the description of an antique firearm, which is what we all know, black powder, basically. And then when you scroll down to the next section, then it says firearm in parentheses, and it says that includes antique firearms. So the first section said antique firearm is not considered a firearm. And then you go down to the next section, and then it says firearms, and then it says the definition, it includes antique firearms. So one law says that it's not, the next law says that it is, and it clearly says it too. It doesn't give a weird description of it like in Virginia where an explosive, blah, blah, blah. It literally says, in parentheses, firearm, and then it says antiques are not considered firearms. But then when you go down one section, it says, like the next paragraph or whatever, it says firearm antiques are considered firearms. So in the first section, it says I can carry this basically because it's not considered a firearm. It's an antique. But then the section underneath it says it is a firearm. So who wrote these laws? I mean, are these people like 4 years old and they just don't understand their own, what they write? It's just, this is just this bureaucracy bullshit, or like the government where they have 5,000 pages for one stupid law. It's like, so they do consider it, but then they don't consider it, but then they do consider it, but then they don't consider it. Well, it's black powder, so it's not a firearm, but then in the next section it is a firearm. But then it's not. You see what I'm trying to confuse you guys by doing this. It is, but it's not. But it is, but it's not. But it is, but it's not. It's like, make up your mind, make the law more specific so people can fucking understand this shit. So I'm going to carry both of them. This one I'm going to carry unloaded, just like the law says. This one I'm going to carry loaded. The law says that it's not a firearm, but then it says it isn't. So I'm confused. So when I buy the item from the guy, I won't carry this on his property. I'm not going to, be stupid like that. But driving through the state, this thing is going to be next to me. This thing will be in the glove box unloaded, but this one is going to be with me. You know what I mean? So if I have to stop at a gas station or something like that, I will have that readily available. But Maryland, you need to fix your fucking laws. So it's too confusing. You say that this thing is one thing, then you say it's another thing, then you say it's not that, but then you say it is that. It's like, fuck, you know what I mean? So anyway, you guys have a great day, and stay tuned for the next video for the truck bed when I get it home. Thank you.